In on this is our panel of medical experts, emergency medicine physician and Republican candidate for Congress in Georgia, Dr. Richard McCormick. And also with us is former White House physician, Dr. Ronny Jackson. So, Dr. Jackson, I'll start with you on this. This is, we're getting pretty extreme here. What do you think of these?
Yeah, I think that there's still a lot of politics behind this, to be honest with you, Bob. And I think we need to start looking at this more, with more of a common sense lens. And that's not a common sense solution to what's going on. We need to start approaching this from a little bit more of a common sense level. So I think that's somewhat of a ridiculous suggestion.
Dr. McCormick, we are seeing, though, more and more masks being worn. And in fact, McDonald's today announced that they're going to require their customers that come inside their restaurants to wear a mask. Is this the right direction?
Well, there's two sides of this coin, and the governor of Georgia obviously is trying to take the thread the needle approach. I think in a lot of times wearing the mask is fine if you want to wear your mask, but remember they're going to take their mask off to eat anyways.
True.
So anybody who's dining in is going to have the same contamination whether you wear it into the restaurant or you're sitting down and taking it off. I agree with Dr. Jackson. It's a matter of what really moves the needle. And we forget that there's an individual responsibility that's much more important than any government putting rules on us. We educate people on what's safe, we use science, and then we let people make the right decisions.
Dr. Jackson, I'm going to ask you, give you some words, and you tell me what they mean to you. Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
I'm getting a cognitive test right now.
and in fact, aren't you the individual that gave that to the president?
I sure was, yeah.
Tell us about that. What was that like?
Well, we did it because, like I've said before, there was absolutely positively zero clinical indication to do it. We did it because the narrative in the press was, at the time that the president wasn't mentally or physically fit to be president, which was ridiculous. And, I knew the president was sharp as a tack and, I had no concerns whatsoever. So I suggested it. We put it together. We included it as part of his physical exam. But the president did extremely well on it, as you might expect. It's designed to screen for people who have cognitive disabilities, and he doesn't have any cognitive disabilities. So, of course, he did very well on it. He actually got 30 out of 30 on it. So, it was it's something that's coming back up now. And, I'm kind of surprised that the left's talking about it as much as they are right now with the candidate that they have in the race right now. I think that they need to be very careful about going down that path right now because I don't think that Vice President Biden would do near as well.
Yeah, that's very true. Dr. McCormick, I'm sure you're familiar with the test. Is this scored up to 30? And what's a good score?
Well, I defer to the good Dr. Jackson, but I'll put the president in front of the public with Mr. Biden anytime, and we'll see just what happens because I'm looking forward to that.
That should be interesting. The president has never had a lack of energy, and whatever people think about his politics, I don't think there's ever been a question whether he was lively and that he had plenty of energy as opposed to being in his basement. So I guess, Dr. Jackson, this just confirms that, but that's not a surprise to you.
Not at all. That man's got more energy than I do. He's 20 plus years my senior, and he can work me in the ground, to be honest with you. He's got a phenomenal energy level, and cognitively, I would say, I didn't know him when he was 40, but I bet you anything, he's just as sharp right now as he was when he's in his 30s and 40s.
Yeah, Dr. McCormick, we'll leave it with you. Tell me how things are going in Georgia. I know they've had some challenges. What fixes it?
So we have a second outbreak, no doubt about it. We are at about 85% capacity in our ICUs in my region. Remember that Georgia as a whole is much different from the north to the south and the east and west. Each region has its own challenges. You're going to see different demographics, whether it be young, old. The Hispanics are getting hit very hard right now, basically because of some of the jobs they possess, and also the multi-generational families that live in their homes.
Right.
But the young people are definitely starting to come down with it.
Well, we're kind of losing you, Dr. McCormick. I apologize. We're kind of losing you're going out. I apologize. But I love Georgia. My sister lives there. My dad did before he passed. So you got a great state. And, of course, Texas. That's where my wife is from. So I love that one, Dr. Jackson. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you, Bob.
All right.